Hi, I'm Suresh Vannan. I'm the PO.DAAC manager. So in my set of slides, you'll be learning about how to access the surface water extent products from PO.DAAC. Next slide, please. So just a little bit of introduction. PO.DAAC is the physical oceanography DAC. We're based in JPL. We are also a World Data System, gone through the Code Trust Seal. So we do our curation process to make sure that all our data sets have good metadata, preserved well, and there's provenance from which we got these data sets. PO.DAAC basically archives a whole bunch of data sets from several missions, a lot of ocean data sets, but we will be getting hydrology data sets from SWOT. Click one more time. So there's some relevant SWOT data products that'll be archived at PO.DAAC as well. So there'll be the river and lake extent products from PO.DAAC. So right now we do have some sample files and product description documents for those relevant products on the PO.DAAC website. The PO.DAAC website will be the main place through which you'll be learning about the Opera data product, specifically the surface water extent product. Next slide. So in terms of finding the products, there's multiple ways through which you could find these data products. One way is through the Earth Data Search Client. I've listed the URL at the top. So it's already been populated with the keyword Opera. If you use that link, you should be able to find all the Opera products archived across not only at PO.DAAC, but also at LP.DAAC and other DAACs as well. So that'll be your link to find all the data products. Through that link, you'll be able to find the surface water extent product. The Earth Data Search Client has a whole number of features through which you can basically, select certain facets of your search criteria if you want to sub-select. Okay, so in terms of, the link is posted in the chat as well. So in terms of when these data products are going to be released, it was mentioned in the previous talks and earlier as well that there are some sample products already available on the Opera website. So those are 1 to 2 sample products. So you should be able to find that on the Opera website. In October 2022, click one more time. The PO.DAAC will be hosting the provisional data products. These are products which will be processed for select regions, the surface water extent, and they'll be available through PO.DAAC. So the search interface, once in October, once the data sets are generated and archived at PO.DAAC, you should be able to find those data products. And as was indicated earlier, the validated products, basically the final version of these products will be released to public in February 2023. So there'll be appropriate keywords to indicate that these are provisional products versus the validated products. Next slide. In terms of finding the surface water extent product, as mentioned earlier, there's 2 categories of products. There's a provisional collections and then the validated collection. This is to indicate just the science quality of the data sets as the products are going through the validation process. Descriptions about these data products are available. So since these are based on the HLS, there'll be a 30-meter resolution. And as soon as the products are generated, we have the tooling required to ingest and archive them at PO.DAAC. Next slide. Along with the data search client, you can use the PO.DAAC website to find the surface water extent product. The PO.DAAC website will be the place through which we'll be advertising and announcing these data products, providing various outreach tools and things like that as data products become available. The PO.DAAC website will also be hosting the dataset landing page. So this would be the DOI resolution page for the data sets. And at the top right-hand side corner, you can see an example for a SWOT simulation dataset that PO.DAAC has archived recently. So that dataset landing page would be the main place through which you can find a number of information about the products, and also links to tools and services as well. Documentation, coverage areas information, citation details, all this information. That'll be the central location through which users would be able to find more information about the product. Next slide. In terms of downloading the data sets, so these data sets are hosted in the cloud, but we do understand that not everybody are going to be running their processes in the cloud. So the first option to use is to have a subscription or a download option. So PO.DAAC provides an open source tool called the Data Subscriber. The GitHub location provides a number of readmes and some examples. Basically, there's 2 models for downloading the data sets. The first is a subscription model. Basically, as soon as the data sets are ingested into PO.DAAC, you can subscribe to the data. So that's the first command line option that's shown on the right. And then the other option is to basically download every single data set, every single file as part of a collection. So you'll receive, if there is like 6 months worth of data, there's an option to download all of them all at once. So depending upon your use case, you can run the codes, you can run it as a cron job and set your bounding extents, whether it's time or space, and also basically choose what form extension files that you want to download as well. So there's a number of options in that, and there's some examples. And these examples will be integrated on the dataset landing page as well. Next slide. In terms of staying connected, as I mentioned earlier, the PO.DAAC website is the main place where you can find the information, but we also have a forum through users can ask questions about the products. We do get, post some animations of the products and announce them through the forum and all those things. We have an email list where you can ask questions about the products, and if we can't find an answer, we'll reach out to the scientist and get those details. We do have a number of resources to learn about the cloud and provide data stories and story maps about data sets as well. Our plan on PO.DAAC is to provide a virtual training session in the October timeframe, and if we can't hold a training session virtually, we will post a video. The idea is to have a very short video about describing these data subscribers and access to this information so that users can learn through it in a very quick fashion. Next slide.
Thank you, Suresh. That was great. So maybe if Jared is also on, I think he is, maybe we can go ahead and continue. And then if we have time, we can take questions for both of you.
Yeah, so I'll just take over here. Thanks, Suresh. I'm Jared Beck. I'm the LP.DAAC SDLC task lead. So today I'm going to go over a lot of what Suresh did just from the LP.DAAC side of things. Next slide. So a little background, the LP.DAAC, located in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. We were established in 1990. We have access currently to over 8 petabytes of land data. And that data is available from 1981 to present. We cover all things land here, and we offer spatial resolutions of 1 millimeter all the way up to 5,600 meters per pixel. And last but not least, all of our data and resources are available at no cost. Next slide, please. Much like Suresh talked, the main access point for disturbance alert data is going to be this NASA's Earth Data Search. There's a couple of different filters you can use to kind of narrow down your search, whether that's searching by cloud coverage. If you have an area of interest, you can search spatially, and then also search by time as well. Next slide. So there's a number of options in NASA's Earth Data Search. One of them is to actually create a project. Within this project, you can obviously kind of configure the data that you want. So if you're looking for just one specific SDS layer within a set of granules, this is one access point that I would recommend. But you can kind of create this project and download all those granules, get the links for them. Next slide, please. The other option is HTTPS. That's direct download. So this would be recommended to users, obviously, that are not working in the cloud and next to the data. They want to bring it in locally. NASA Earth Data does offer that option. So obviously, the users can go in, filter down their search to the granules that they're looking for, and directly download them. Next slide, please. So this is something that's kind of new to the LP.DAAC, S3 Direct Access. These disturbance alert products will be offered in the cloud. So if you want to work alongside of that, this is obviously a great tool for users. Some of them benefits are that obviously retrieving data can be a lot quicker. There's no need to actually download it. And then obviously, while you're working completely within the AWS cloud ecosystem, you'll have the might of all those AWS offerings. Next slide, please. So this is just a search window within NASA Earth Data Search. We have the Opera Land Disturbance Alert product up. And this just kind of shows users what those S3 links actually look like. Next slide, please. So timeline here, much like Suresh's. We'll start to kind of, there's a few sample products up there on the Opera website right now. Provisional products will become available here in the near term, and then later on we'll actually publicly release those validated products. Those products obviously will be the provisional product of both disturbance alert and then the annual summary product as well. Next slide, please. So the LPDAAC website, this is a great tool. You can go to the DOI landing page for each of the collections that the LPDAAC will archive for Opera. On these landing pages, you'll find a lot of information on the individual products, from characteristics of each SDS layer, any kind of product quality statements, and then if there are known issues with the products, we'd like to get those posted out as soon as possible. Next slide, please. So I just wanted to touch base. As these products become publicly available, we'll have a number of resources that users can access. So I just put up a couple of resources as examples right now, but as these products become available, the LPDAAC will be developing some of these tutorials, and we'll also work to kind of update some of the e-learning pages to work directly with those Opera products.